I find it such an individual thing. I've never had any two cases the same after many thousands of sessions, and it's all relative, So even though someone might have nothing and have very little, but the other person might be getting very upset about not being able to afford the new BMW. It sounds ridiculous to compare both. One person's barely eating, the other person's trying to upset because they can't go from an average BMW to the best BMW on the market. But it's relative to how that person's responding in their being, what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and the resonance that creates in their being, and then the chemical reactions that their body then goes into that has an impact on their health, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. I'll never forget, there was a guy who did, I can't remember his name now, but he was looking at the energetic impact, and he found that the energetic impact, he was an acupuncturist, and he said he would see these two people and their energy and the deficiency in their energy of someone who was a drug addict for 20 years was almost identical to someone who was overworked in an office getting bullied by her boss who couldn't stand up for herself. And I found that so unbelievable. But now, after years of my own experience, that's what I see as well. It's all relative to each individual about how they respond to their environment, the internal thoughts and feelings they have in reaction to whatever's going on for them in a moment of time. So it's really interesting how it works, whether that's not feeling good enough, because each individual's the meaning maker. You're the meaning maker for everything that has meaning in your life. And in a moment of time, something happens and they say, this person did this to me. I didn't get that job. I didn't go well in that interview. And instead of saying, oh, well, I'm sure there's something better for me down the track, instead of doing that, there's a lot of people that go, I didn't get the job, therefore I'm not good enough. And they form the belief about themselves that then that goes into the law of attraction. Like attracts like, and so they keep attracting more of the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And whether it's whatever meaning making someone makes in a moment, that just repeats and has a resonance, and that resonance has an effect on them spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. It affects the flow of their chi in their body. Causes all sorts of issues.
And that's also backed up, Jacob. There's a lot of study being done on that, and we find that in our work as well, that a lot of healing work, people come to get healing, but unless they make the conscious aha moment or the link between why something's happening to them, it's harder for them to heal. For example, what James just said, they realize that in a moment when they were a kid, this happened, and this set up a repeating example from their adulthood. So when you can make the link between why you're attracting the same thing in your life again and again, when you get that conscious aha moment and it drops, that's part of the healing process.